Good morning and welcome to Today in LA. My name is Mike Amos. His name is Forrest Lee, far to my left, and Josh Boutwell, the sports editor of the Troy Messenger, is with us today. And we're here to talk to you about what happened in high school and college football this past weekend. And I don't know how many people watched the game, but one of the surprising games to me, Josh Boutwell, in college was how bad Vanderbilt beat Hawaii at Hawaii.
63-10, and I think they spent a lot of time there.
Yeah.
I think they were there a good 10 days or so.
And that
63 to 10.
Evidently, that's what you got to do to beat Hawaii. You go there and stay for a week and get acclimated to the beautiful scenery, and I was so proud of Vanderbilt, and 63 points against anybody is pretty good.
Yeah. And Western Kentucky rose into Hawaii. Yeah. I wonder when they got over there.
I don't know, but they had a good trip. And listen, I need to talk to the Troy people. Hey, we need to get a game with Hawaii, and we'll go there and stay a week or 10 days. And but of course, there was a few other college games, Josh, that we were took a pretty good look at. Jacksonville State beat Austin Peay in a Division I AA game. You had Illinois beating Wyoming. And the sad game, and it was sad for me to see Nebraska lose to Northwestern. And a lot of people were rooting hard for Northwestern, but I was rooting for the coach at Nebraska because he might not even make the season's end.
Well, he was up by over 10 points and tried an onside kick.
I thought that was one of the greatest.
And Northwestern went down and scored, so the final was 31-28. Yeah. A lot of people are putting it on that.
Oh, boy, I tell you.
Anyway.
It was sad, but you're exactly right. Why on earth did he go for that, up by 10 or 11 points, and they go for the, onside kick? Of course, in high school football this weekend, we had some real good games, and sort of give us your opinion of these games here. Arrington went to Highland Home. And Highland Home, tell us about this.
Well, what I had heard, Highland Home was up 20-19. It was back and forth. And then Arrington got up 33-20 with just a little over 3 minutes to play. Arrington fumbled. Highland Home scored off of that fumble a few plays later. And then Arrington got the ball back and got pinned inside their 5-yard line and punted. I think pinned inside the 2 and had to punt, and then Highland Home scored a touchdown on the last play of the game, and then went for 2 and won the game 34-33. And those two teams, as well coached as they are and stacked with players, they will possibly meet again.
Yeah, that is. Now, what do you know about the game? You didn't cover that game, did you? And, of course, you were covering Pike County or Bargosian or where you?
Pike.
Okay. And they played pretty well, didn't they?
They did. They had the lead at halftime. They did. Depth kind of got to them.
But you know what? You're looking at what they have to play with, Forrest and Josh. They're playing pretty well, and they're well coached football team, and they're keeping. Nobody's blown them out yet.
Well, they. It was 15-10 at the half, but you could just tell. But Bayside, they had about 20 players to play. Pike Lib, I think, had like 14.
Oh boy!
And they a lot of them had to play both sides of the ball. But Pike Liberal Arts this week will travel to Chipley, Florida, and that's I've got somewhere in my stats that's 85 miles away.
It's a long.
Chipley's 85 miles away, an hour and 33 minutes. It beats going to Brook. I mean, they were going to go to not Brooks, but they were going to Byrd County, I believe, or somewhere up that way. But that game got changed. But they'll play Chipley, and Chipley's pretty good. They're 1A, and they defeated Rutherford 41-0 Friday night. Chipley did.
Oh gosh.
So,
I think they made the semifinals in playoffs last year.
so
So that's going to be a tough one. Of course, taking a look at some other scores in high school, Brantley beat Houston County, and
that was 33-7.
yeah, Goshen just routed Zion Chapel. You know, Zion Chapel scored some points, but Goshen scored a lot more.
46-21, and the highlight, I guess, player of that game that I read in the Messenger, Jamari McClure for Goshen, had 200 yards and 4 touchdowns on 12 attempts. Jamari McClure. So,
Oh, boy.
They had some really good running back at Goshen.
And
I tell you what, look out for Goshen.
they have doubled their win total
Yes,
from
sir.
last year.
Then Mary Montgomery. Now I've got a little bit to say about this game. Mary Montgomery. Good morning. You're on Today in L.A.
Good morning.
We've already gone over a few high school scores and a few college scores already, Mike. But I've just got to say this about
Vanderbilt 63-10. Were you expecting that?
No way. And just got through talking about that. The Vanderbilt might be for real. As far as offensively.
Yeah, I didn't think Vanderbilt had much of a chance to cover that line. I mean, I thought they maybe would win the game, but then I was listening to the game, and I think I turned it off right at midnight, and it was just getting in late in the third quarter. And throughout the game, the announcer said Hawaii had 51 new players.
Oh,
51 new players.
That's unreal. And I'm sure they're raising their hand. Yeah, I'll go play at Hawaii. Yeah, I'll go play at Hawaii. Well, let me tell you this, Mike. I couldn't even find the dang game on the TV.
Yeah, it was on.
Where in the hell was the game?
It was on College Sports.
And who gets College Sports blank whatever?
It's CBS College Sports is what they call it.
And you think I've got it anywhere?
I mean, I have it down here because we have DirecTV, so
Yeah.
I had it so I could watch it.
Well, I hope this weekend I get to watch the Troy Ole Miss game.
I watched Austin Peay play West Kentucky pretty tough too. That game was a lot better than people thought.
They're supposed to have a real good offensive team.
How'd you do on your picks, Mike?
Let's see. I had Western Kentucky, Nebraska. So that's a loss. Boy, Scott Frost is out of his mind.
I know it.
28-17. He calls that onside
He's
kick.
up by 11.
You know what Scott Frost is? He looks like is a weightlifter. That's what it looks like to me, a weightlifter. He's got those big old biceps and he's showing those big old arms up and he's getting the hell beat out of him.
I had Utah State, Illinois, North Texas. North Texas blew out Utah. That was a big win.
Yeah, 31-13.
That line was only 1 point.
Yeah, I took it.
Jack State. I had Brantley, Goshen, Charles Henderson, Bayside, Elba, Auburn, Geneva County. Lost on Pike County. Won on Carroll, and then I won on Highland Home.
So you missed 2.
Yeah, Highland Home. I had to score 21-13, but I think it was 34-33.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you missed 2. Your dad missed 3. I missed 4. Steve missed 5.
Did any of y'all take Highland Home in the fighting Will Pouncey?
I did not.
Yeah,
I picked Eric Thompson.
Yeah, I took Arrington too, and and it was a thriller.
I'm gonna pick them. I'm gonna pick Arrington again when they play again.
Yeah, I'm looking to see.
Is Charles Henderson back?
They're back.
Hey man,
We'll find out for sure Friday when they play Greenville.
I'll tell you right now, Mike.
They're back.
They've got a junior receiver that is as good as any football player I've seen play in that stadium in a long time. You ought to see his natural. I mean, he ran the ball about the last 10 or 12 times, and they drove 75 yards in about 15 plays to win the game.
Look who you got in your studio, Mike.
Yeah, I know it. Exactly right. And I'm going to bring him in here in a minute, in a second. And I said before I looked up, has he been sitting there very long?
No, he just walked in.
All right. Yeah, I just got through saying that I would probably see my old coach, my friend, and of course Quinn we're glad to have you on our show again. You know, he's loyal to me, and I tell you what, I want to we'll bring him up in right after these.
I turned it over to Facebook, and they were down 14-3, and I was just like, wow. And then I got a text from Forrest, and Forrest said St. Little Arts was up 15-10 at half. I was like, man, what's going on?
And they were playing one of the more impressive looking football teams I have ever seen in my life. Bayside, Mary Montgomery of Mobile, Mary Montgomery of Sims, what real name.
Yeah.
Let's just say this. They dressed over 120 players. And the guy told me, he said, and only 9 of those were ninth graders. They didn't even dress a bunch of ninth graders, or they would have dressed 150 players. I don't think there's a high school team anywhere that dresses that many players. We're well coached and a good football team. But let me tell you, I've never seen a team any better coached than the team I saw get that ball. Listen to this, at their own 25-yard line. I want to say 25 or 20, and drove with 16 plays. Let's say this: they started with it was 16 plays in 5 minutes and 30 seconds. They ate up all the clock, and they in fact only left them 45 seconds left on the clock. But the way they executed, running the football inside, and the way this kid ran the football, he had such quick feet inside. It reminded me of some great backs of all time. And one of was Emmett Smith. He got quick feet, and he just dominated the game right at the end. And like I said, here it is. This team is trying to get back in the ball game. Well, I'll tell you another thing. Then they kick it after they scored and kicked the extra point. They kick it back to Mary Montgomery, and you would think Mary Montgomery would have a chance. Well, the Charles Simpson kicker kicked it out of the end zone. I'm talking about out of the end zone. I mean, he had got that kind of leg, and then that meant that they were going to have to drive 80 yards in the last 30 seconds and they shoot. Let me tell you, Charles Henderson, I was very impressed, and we're going to bring him in here in just a second. We'll be right back. We can get everybody in. Come up here, friend.
Tell Steve my internet's on the press. I can't get on Zoom.
Yeah.
A personal touch, a high level of trust. Whether it's checking and savings accounts, personal or business loans, or our local friendly service. That's what Troy Bank and Trust customers expect. But now we offer more. Free identity theft protection for our new and existing customers, protecting your family's time, money, and good name from identity theft. Because protecting your identity is now a big part of our identity.
In the market for a new or pre-owned vehicle? We've got what you're looking for.
So come see us at Bill Jackson Chevrolet Buick GMC in Troy, and you too can experience the Jackson satisfaction.
Bill Jackson Chevrolet Buick GMC.
These teenage years can be tricky to navigate, especially when it comes to teaching my son about managing money. I'm thankful for helpful tools like Sidekick from Max. With Sidekick, requesting and rewarding money is easy. He can earn it by completing chores, making honor roll, or simply making a request from his own app. I love that I can easily monitor his purchases and set limits to help him learn to make smart choices with his spending, even on video games. Sidekick. Find it in your Max app.
A personal touch, a high level of trust. Whether it's checking and savings accounts, personal or business loans, or our local friendly service. That's what Troy Bank and Trust customers expect. But now we offer more. Free identity theft protection for our new and existing customers, protecting your family's time, money, and good name from identity theft. Because protecting your identity is now a big part of our identity.
In the market for a new or pre-owned vehicle? We've got what you're looking for.
So come see us at Bill Jackson Chevrolet Buick GMC in Troy, and you too can experience the Jackson satisfaction.
Bill Jackson Chevrolet Buick GMC.
These teenage years can be tricky to navigate, especially when it comes to teaching my son about managing money. I'm thankful for helpful tools like Sidekick from Max. With Sidekick, requesting and rewarding money is easy. He can earn it by completing chores, making honor roll, or simply making a request from his own app. I love that I can easily monitor his purchases and set limits to help him learn to make smart choices with his spending, even on video games. Sidekick. Find it in your Max app.
Our wide selection of pre-owned vehicles looks so good, you'll think they're new.
So take the short drive to Bill Jackson Ford in Troy, where you too can experience the Jackson satisfaction.
Bill Jackson Ford, Troy, Alabama.
Back to our show, ladies and gentlemen, and Quinn Hambright, the head football coach at Charles Simpson High School, as every Monday he comes on our show, and of course we've got Josh Boutwell, the sports editor of the Troy Messenger. He did a great job. And then, of course, my good friend Forrest Lee are here to talk about Charles Henderson's big football victory over Mary Montgomery of Sims, Alabama. And, of course, it's located right there in the Mobile area. Coach, in your coaching career, and you've coached at some pretty big schools, have you ever seen more football players dressed out to play a high school football game?
You know what? In all honesty, I didn't even look over there to see it. I heard about it, but you know, I was so locked in and focused. I knew that they had they were going to dress out a lot of players. I know Auburn High School comes close, maybe a little bit more, but like it was
over 120 players.
It was impressive, definitely impressive.
And like I said before, I asked one of the people, I said, how about how many ninth graders? He said, oh, we only dressed 4 ninth graders. And they didn't even dress all the ninth graders. They probably had 59 graders. How can you afford to even pay for a helmet? Those helmets cost $400.
Yeah, piece. Yeah, and then if you send them for reconditioning, for that many kids, you know, you may get 30, 40 helmets that come back. That's not, you know, sufficient enough for the next year. Now you got about 30 or 40 helmets, which is essentially the same amount as I'm buying. Helmets is not the issue, it's the jerseys.
Yeah.
Jersey tops are $180 by for one top.
Oh, gosh.
The pants are maybe $120.
Yeah.
So you multiply that times 200.
Well, it was a very and a classy football program. I was very impressed with Mary Montgomery and where their fans were. And like I said, I watched the game from the other side of the field and was able to feel the impact that you were making on this team. Tell us about the game, Coach.
First half, a lot of mental busts, a lot of mental mistakes. We just didn't execute the way we, you know, were coached up to do. And they corrected those mistakes in the second half. You know, it was, I don't know, it was jitters, just not locked in and not focused on what was going on. You know, down 14-3 during the first half. You know, I feel that it could have been, you know, if we don't touch their punt on our punt return.
Coach, I could not believe it.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it either.
Coach, you got to work on that. But what they were doing, they were kicking away from your great player. Yeah. But this young kid was not handling the kick. That cost you 2 touchdowns right there.
Yeah, 2 touchdowns and, you know, field position. You know, we Nick Pearson at one point in the game flipped the field. It was 58-yard punt at the 1-yard line. That was by far one of the most impressive punts I've seen out of a high school kid. You know, and at the end of the game, him kicking the ball out of the end.
I know. Hey, I tell you what, I couldn't if I was standing by you on that kick, you said, man, because you didn't want them to run it back because you wanted them to have to get it at the 20, and doggone, the kid kicked it out of the end zone.
I said, Nick, get it out of there.
and
Yes, sir.
well,
Is he
a couple of
sophomore,
kids.
junior?
He's a junior.
He's a junior.
And the thing about him, Coach, he didn't kick a couple of very well, and missed a couple of fairly easy field goals or extra points. But did you realize that he has that kind of? I mean, because early in the game he was not impressive. He was kicking it end over end, and then he started kicking the ball, and like you said, he kicked one of them 58 yards, that rolled in on the 2-yard line.
Yeah, he's his worst enemy. Nick is he expects perfection out of himself, and that's a great thing. But it's also when things don't go his way, he just beats himself up, and that's when he's in his own head, he's his worst enemy. But when he's on, he's on.
Yeah.
Second half, we came out.
You were down 14-3.
We came
Now,
out.
now I say something. Now, listen. In the first half, this. Tell me about your running back,
Jawan, we ended up.
Jawan, but he ran back a 65-yard punt return. Was it a punt return?
It was a kick return. It was a punt return from the safety that they got.
Yeah, and you had gotten him a safety, and he runs it all the way back. A brilliant run back. What about this kid, Coach? I mean, he's the difference in winning and losing.
Yeah, he put the team on his back Friday night.
So he's already got an offer for Houston, is that right?
Yes.
I bet he's gonna get an offer from everybody one day. But he's only a junior.
Yeah.
But he's not the only one. Now your quarterback played very, very well. And I didn't realize he had the speed he had. He's got great speed.
He also earned a lot of respect from his teammates with how tough he played. He took the ball off. I'm telling him to slide, and he wants to run somebody over.
Yeah.
I'm like, Parker, man, got to stop.
Yeah.
But his grit and competitive edge is what held the team together. He was very efficient. He threw for over 70%.
Yeah.
13 of 17 for
You tell him what he said.
169.
Yeah.
13 of 17, 169, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah. So
And when he can put that kind of pressure on the other team's defense, when he sticks that ball in there and pulls it out, he's putting a lot of pressure on the opposing defense.
Yeah, you have to respect his arm and his legs. And that's what we've been telling him. We're like, look, if you don't pull it, they're going to just crash on the running back, and they'll never respect, your running ability.
Yeah. Well,
Did your starting running back play? I know you said he was hurt going into the game.
No, he didn't play. No, he was available, but we didn't play.
Yeah. Mike, he's good and all that.
Will he be back this week?
Definitely.
And I can't wait to see him play against Greenville. But I'll tell you this right now. Hey, they've got the best running back receiver in the state of Alabama, I think.
Jawan Boyd, he's amazing. I really had to get him composed because the first half, he was frustrated with how we were playing defensively because of the mental bust that we were having. We went in. He gave some encouraging words to the boys, to say the least. And it came out.
Well, who
Jawan,
he's that kind of leader.
Yeah,
He said he had a speech to the team.
Yeah, he gave it to him, and so all I had to do was kind of put the icing on the cake when I ran that.
Well, and of course, tell us what happened in the second half, real quick.
Second half, we started Jawan at running back. Sophomore Antonio Frazier, carried the load for the most part in the first half, and great kid, wasn't as productive as we needed him to be. Second half adjustments came in. Jawan Boyd went to running back. Stephon Mosley scored the first touchdown in the second half. He hit the sideline and he was gone. He's one of the kids that people double team Jawan and Stephon Mosley gonna have a big game.
How did what was
I don't have any stats on
Mosley caught, I think, 4 balls for 73 yards and a touchdown.
That was really good.
Yeah.
Well, now in this second half, Jawan just sort of took it on and put the Charleston team on his shoulder. I hate to just say we didn't get good performance from everybody else. We did, but we got an exceptional performance out of Jawan Boyd.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we did. And the O-line just, they leaned. They said in the second half, coach, run inside zone.
Well, y'all ran that inside zone, Coach, and the thing about it, y'all executed. Now, let me tell you this. The worst thing you did was the center made some bad snaps. Mm-hmm. You had several bad snaps. If you can clean that up, you're going to be much better. But don't you agree? Yeah. It almost cost you the game. How many times did the quarterback have the ball snapped over his head? It
was 4 times.
4 times snapped over his head.
At crucial time.
And that's right. But you know what? One thing about Adams, your quarterback, he never lost his cool one bit. And as long as he's got Jawan out there, it doesn't matter who's on him. He's gonna get the ball and make something happen.
Yes, sir, no doubt. He was very composed the entire game. He missed Will Templin up the seam early in the game. Caught him, and
Will Templin's a good football player. I didn't realize how good a football player he was.
Yeah, he caught the second touchdown.
Yeah.
That took the lead of the game. Then Barry Montgomery came in with about 7 minutes left in the fourth quarter, scored a touchdown on the muff. On actually a punt block, and practice yesterday was special teams was what it was. If you can't play special teams, you're not going to play offensive.
Yeah.
That's just how. What time y'all practice on Sunday?
3.
I've never heard of offensive practice.
Well, I've always heard about them watching film.
I've always clean it up because Greenville's coming.
I've always heard of
big area game.
I heard about them watching film on Sunday.
Do y'all not go in on Saturday morning then, I guess?
No, we don't go Saturday mornings. We go Sunday afternoon.
Oh, actually, I would like that better then.
Yeah.
I would like that. I hated having to get up on Saturday morning and go watch film.
Yes, I mean, because Saturday mornings, Damian
you
Harden.
Football games.
Yeah, we got football games. So Damian Harden and Zion Grady. We went to Florida State Saturday.
Yeah, I did. See the game?
To see the game. Florida State invited Zion, and I said, well, I'm going to take Damian so he can experience
nobody invited Boyd.
Liking the delays they have in that game. Wasn't it 4 down raining?
Yeah, it was bad. It was delayed. We pretty much was in the facility in the players' lounge for about an hour and a half. Just watching some of their film, and they had little games and stuff already set up.
Pretty impressive.
Yeah, Florida State looks really, really good. It's a beautiful campus.
Yeah,
beautiful campus. They offer Zion Grady.
Yeah.
I
mean, what is
50,000 students at Florida State.
Yeah. Student section was sold out. It was amazing.
But now in the second half, and you said run the inside zone and explain that to the people out there.
Yeah, the O-line requested it. When players, come to you and say, Coach, this is what we need to do, then you listen to them. And it's pretty much, gap assignment blocking, right down the middle between the tackles.
And I was so impressed with the way they came off the ball and the execution. I mean, you came off the ball on time. You came off the ball and knocked it back. But let me tell you, give me your four in center. Give me your 4 linemen in center.
Bent Dunn at center.
Now, Bent Dunn, let me tell you, Mike, he's a big kid. How much he weigh, you reckon?
Bent's about 260.
He looks like he's very confident. He seems, man, he's an outstanding lineman. And
he is. If you line up in front of Ben, you better be buckle your chin strap on.
And they had a big old nose guard, but he seemed like he handled him pretty well.
Yeah, he did a pretty good job. He's his worst enemy as well. He gets in his own head, especially with those snaps.
All right, but so he did make some bad snaps. Yeah, they like to cost him. I hope he'll work on that.
Yeah.
But he hadn't always played center, has he?
He's not my star center for.
Okay, all right, okay, I'm wrong.
Yeah, and left tackle, Samir Caffey, left guard. It's Sterling Sharp, and center's Benton. Right guard is Philip Scott, and the right tackle is Connor Jones.
And these
You
are
got a kid named Sterling Sharp.
Yeah, he's
yeah.
got a little brother. So I think it was a little brother, Landon
Yeah,
Sharp.
yeah.
Sterling's a good kid.
But
Sterling Sharp.
but then you stay with those guys most of the game. Is that right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And but I tell you, it was amazing how well y'all were able to get the running room. But now, at the top of the show, I said this about this Jalen Boyd. He has quick feet. Now, explain that to me. Inside, just like Emmett Smith used to have, he didn't always dash up there up the middle. He would get to the middle, and then he would see the opening to the right or to the left, and his quick feet would gain yardage. That was pretty much what he was doing, wasn't he?
Yeah. His vision is the game is so slow for him. And that's the thing with Jawan is he looks way faster than everybody else because the game just comes so slow. It's like everybody else is going in slow motion in his mind, and he's going.
All right, like Emmett Smith used to get the ball, and then he would get the line of scrimmage and make his break. That was what he was doing, wasn't he?
Yep.
I mean, he was seeing the action, and
he was seeing it before it happened.
Yeah.
Essentially, and that's he'll make a move to set you up so that you can't be blocked. And that's what makes him so elusive.
And Josh, and I know I want you to comment on this, but let me tell you, only the great ones can do what he did. I mean, because he was inside with all that traffic, and then he'd come out and make a big play. 7, 8 yards, 8 yards, 12 yards, 11 yards, 5 yards. Just ran. Now, there were a couple of other guys that took the ball too, but Boyd was.
Who's your offensive line coach?
Line coach. Shannon Powell.
Well, Shannon Powell, I tell you what.
Shannon Powell from Troy?
Yes, sir. And, his brother Butch Powell was a great player at Charles Henderson High School. I don't know if you knew that or not years ago, but he played at Troy, too.
Starting defensive back at Charles Henderson.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I'm glad to see Shannon coaching that.
I didn't know he coached offensive line, though. I can't see him being offensive line.
But you know what? Hey, listen, the offensive line won that ball game. Wouldn't you say?
Oh yeah, definitely. I was extremely proud of him. Jawan had 99 rushing yards, so I was proud of that.
With Greenville coming up, Coach, this is our first regional game. Yeah. Any special thing that we got to prepare for Greenville?
Greenville, if you saw Pike Road's offense last year, that's what you're going to see. A lot of shifts, a lot of, 5 men over here, everybody running all over the place, 4 and 3.
Oh, a bunch of crazy stuff.
Yeah, so they do a lot of formation shifts just to try to get you off balance. But it's one of those things where you still got to line up to 11 men on the field. But
another thing, Coach, and we had
one good thing about Greenville, though, Coach, they won't have any speed, so you'll be all right.
They lost a few guys last year for sure. They got this big running back. He's about 240. He's a bowling ball.
I tell you though, I like the way your team played defense too. I mean, and tell us about that linebacker that everybody's looking at.
Yeah, we defensively, I don't think they had 30 rushing yards. They threw the ball on big plays. That's how they scored. It was pretty much big plays. But Damian Hart does a very good job up front.
Is he a linebacker or a down linebacker?
Yeah, he's a linebacker. He does a great job of making sure everybody's in their right spot. He's literally the quarterback of the defense. Zion Grady had a great game. He had 2 or 3 sacks. I think he has 5, 6 tackles. So right now in 2 games, if we played, he's had 6 sacks.
He's just a 10th grader, isn't he, Coach?
He's a 10th grader. He's actually he's the number 4 player in the nation. He's the number 1 player in his position in the nation.
Wait a minute, and he's a 10th grader?
Yeah, well, that's
for his class. For his class. The best sophomore in his class.
He's the best sophomore in the state of Alabama.
In the state of Alabama, isn't that something?
Yeah, he's number 1.
And is he mostly defense?
Yes. He can play tight end.
How big is it?
Zion's 6'4", about 225.
Yeah. So he could probably play tailback if he had to.
Watch out, Coach. IMG Academy is going to come get him.
Well, they got to go through me.
Yeah.
And I consider myself a brick wall. So
Well, before I get away from this game, though, it was the most beautiful drive that I've seen. How long was it, Coach?
I think we got the ball with about six minutes left. A little bit.
Hear this now, 6 minutes left.
Yeah, and we drove the ball. We ran the ball. We only threw the ball one time.
Yeah.
Over the course of 70.
And that's where I said your execution. I mean, Adams executed just the handoffs and stuff like that. Just great. And then you had Boyd and a couple other guys.
Yeah, it was Antonio Frazier. Man, some of those tough yardage. The O-line multiple times. If they stood them up, they just pushed them an extra 7 to 8 yards.
Yeah, I couldn't get over. Listen to this. I saw this happen more than once, probably 4 or 5 times, where the line, the running back gets sort of stopped, and then the line gets behind him and pushes and pushes.
Yeah.
That happened 4 or 5 times. Did y'all practice that?
I was just mentality.
I mean, let me tell you, they did that more than anything. Where the running back gets a couple of yards, and then the rest of the line starts pushing him. I saw him push one time 10 yards for a 10-yard game. But y'all didn't practice that.
That's weight room.
It looks like they practiced it, but at least 5 times they did that.
Yeah.
That where they wouldn't stop at 2, they would get 5 or 7 or 8 yards by pushing.
Now we do goal line. On Tuesdays. That's our work day. That's what we call our Tuesday night fights, where it gets real intense. And I tell that O-line, if your running back is stopped, you better get behind them, and you better get in the end zone. If we're at the 1 yard line, we're going to score. Either we're going to score, or I'm going to have 5 minutes.
And then and then the way Boyd was, you would think he was stopped, and then boom, you get 5 or 6 more yards.
Coach, do any of your offensive linemen have to play defensive line too? Sometimes they're able to, if they had to.
If they had to, we do. The last game we did it. And that's the beauty of from this year to last year. They were blown in the fourth quarter. And you can tell that the fourth quarter of this game, they're in pretty good shape. They lean and they move those guys backwards.
Right.
Philip Scott, in heavy situations, if they bring in, they're heavy. They bring in a few D linemen on offense, then we bring in a few O linemen.
All right. What is the injured player that's going to be able to play Friday night? What does he bring to the table? What does he bring to the table to go with, what you've got already?
I feel like, Zach Coleman was the key from Friday. I think we're singing a different tune if he plays Friday, last Friday. But him coming, being back this week, fresh legs, he's extremely hard worker.
Yeah.
I don't think we have 1 or 2 that's that 1%.
Yeah.
He's in that 1% when it comes to working hard, making sure he's getting strong.
Now, he's big, strong, but either a speed back or just power back.
He's both. He's both. He's a kid that if he's in the open field, you're not going to catch him. If he's between the tackles, you're probably going to want to get away.
Yeah. But what are you going to do?
So, how did you come out injury-wise? Anybody else get hurt?
From this game, no.
Well, another thing too. What are you going to do with Boyd? You going to keep him at running back, or you going to put him at wide receiver?
He's going to be everywhere on the field.
Yeah.
He's going to be a receiver slot. Maybe you may even see him at quarterback.
That run that was called back, and it was way behind the ball. I know that one really tore you up when Boyd went about 70 yards with it, and the ball, the flag is about 50 yards behind the runner. I hate that.
Yeah, and I talked to the ref and I said, who was it? He told me the wrong number.
He couldn't tell you, could he?
Yeah, he told me the wrong number. But when I looked at film, his hands was inside. He was driving them, it could have been called. It couldn't have been called.
Yeah, but that would have been a big play in the game. Josh Boutwell, the very good sports editor of the Troy Messenger. Do you have any questions?
My main thing is, since spring, you really talked about the mentality of this team.
Yes.
You want to change the culture and the mentality of these guys. You feel like maybe, especially coming from behind this last one, you guys will turn that corner?
We're close. We're close. Last year, just being honest, a 3-14 game would have ended 40-3. You know, just because of the they didn't have that resilient mentality to just persevere through games. We during the summer we persevered through a lot of stuff. I mean, even Alabama State 7-7 that we won, we lost our first 2 games. You know, and then we won out after that. You know, and we did all that without Jawan Boyd at that time, and that's when I knew that we may have something special here. So you know, it started in the fall. I mean, it started in the spring. You know, even with playing Lee. If somebody scored on us, the mentality on us last year, it was like, let's go.
You know what that tells me? That Lee was not a fluke by any means. That, I watched that game too, and I felt like that y'all beat that 7A team even during the spring. That gave your players a lot of confidence, didn't it?
It did. And going into the summer, that's what we needed. It was going to be a win-win with us, regardless of playing Lee. We win a game, that's a boost. If we lose it, play well, that's a boost.
Yeah.
And that mentality is transition and it's turning the corner.
Well, I tell you what, I sure would hate to know I had to play Charles Henderson High School Trojans of Troy. I wouldn't want to play them, I tell you, because they're going to play hard. And that's what I saw. And if y'all can run straight at people and then with your speed go outside and then with a passer like Adams is, hey, you're gonna be hard to stop.
Yeah, we can hit teams on multiple dimensions offensively. We're not one-dimensional at all.
Are you your offensive coordinator?
No, DeAndre also is.
Does a good job, evidently. And your defensive coordinator, I was impressed with him during the summer, and he's doing you a good job.
Yeah, he is. He took that load off my back, and he didn't realize what he had. And I said, Coach, you think they're gonna be there? He came to the school, like, Coach.
Well, let me tell you this. I think they tackle well. That's something I noticed, especially on the corners. Yeah. The corners, very important that you tackle well. And you had one-on-one stuff. Y'all one-on-one quite a bit. You very rarely ever double-teamed anybody. They had a receiver number 2 who was really good.
Yeah, he was really, really good.
He's going to be a big-time receiver.
Yeah. Second half, we put number 2 on him.
Well, let me tell you this: go Troy, and I know that's going to be a big game in the stadium. It's Charles Henderson against the Greenville Tigers.
Bet on Friday night.
That's right. And I tell you what, you want to see a good one. I would have to say this is the headline game of the week, and of course we're excited about it. And of course, again, congratulations on a big victory, my friend.
Thank you.
And we're looking forward to this weekend.
Say hello to your sweethearts.
Yes,
little
sir.
girls.
And ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back right after this.
A personal touch, a high level of trust. Whether it's checking and savings accounts, personal or business loans, or our local friendly service. That's what Troy Bank and Trust customers expect. But now we offer more. Free identity theft protection for our new and existing customers, protecting your family's time, money, and good name from identity theft. Because protecting your identity is now a big part of our identity.
In the market for a new or pre-owned vehicle? We've got what you're looking for.
So come see us at Bill Jackson Chevrolet Buick GMC in Troy, and you too can experience the Jackson satisfaction.
Bill Jackson Chevrolet Buick GMC.
These teenage years can be tricky to navigate, especially when it comes to teaching my son about managing money. I'm thankful for helpful tools like Sidekick from Max. With Sidekick, requesting and rewarding money is easy. He can earn it by completing chores, making honor roll, or simply making a request from his own app. I love that I can easily monitor his purchases and set limits to help him learn to make smart choices with his spending, even on video games. Sidekick. Find it in your Max app.
In the market for a new or pre-owned vehicle? We've got what you're looking for.
So come see us at Bill Jackson Chevrolet Buick GMC in Troy, and you too can experience the Jackson satisfaction.
Bill Jackson Chevrolet Buick GMC. Our wide selection of pre-owned vehicles looks so good, you'll think they're new.
So take the short drive to Bill Jackson Ford in Troy, where you too can experience
A personal touch, a high level of trust. Whether it's checking and savings accounts, personal or business loans, or our local friendly service. That's what Troy Bank and Trust customers expect. But now we offer more. Free identity theft protection for our new and existing customers, protecting your family's time, money, and good name from identity theft. Because protecting your identity is now a big part of our identity.
Back to our show, ladies and gentlemen, brought to you by Premier Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, and Ram trucks. And Jason, we love you from this studio, and of course, hope everything is real good. Of course, they've got sales going on right now that will knock your socks off, and we're glad to bring that information to you when it comes to new and used cars and trucks. They've got you covered like no other dealership in this part of the country. Appreciate.
Wonder if Jason knows who Auburn's next athletic director is going to be.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's turmoil.
I'm hearing the name John Hartwell a lot.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Well,
John Hartwell's former Troy athletic director at Utah State. Apparently, he was a strong candidate for the Auburn job last time.
Yeah.
So I don't know
That's
if
good.
he'll get it, but he was at Old in the SEC, and I think he worked at another Southeastern Conference school as well.
Do you think he will? Do you think he'd play Troy?
No, I don't think he'd play Troy, but
Well, they
that's
named
the name you're hearing right now. I know he wants the job a lot. I mean, of course, he probably wants to get back to the South and get out of Utah.
he's
Yeah.
they named their starting quarterback T.J. Finley.
T.J. Finley, Mike.
I am shocked by that. I just thought there was no way after what I was with him last year that he would be the starting quarterback. That's a bad sign for Auburn, in my opinion.
Well, that nobody else came around. Mike, I told y'all they're gonna go back and Auburn folks gonna hate they lost Bo Nix. Bo Nix was a winner.
Well,
And-
Bo
and-
rolls into Georgia. They'll play Oregon and Georgia.
And,
We'll see.
and I tell you what,
As far as I guess Alan Green hired Hart.
yeah, that's what's happening.
That's never a good sign when the AD gets fired, and now they're going to bring in another AD. That guy is basically going to be if Hartson doesn't go, he'd have to go play 9-3 now to save his job. I'd say.
Well, it's gonna be tough. Of course, that remains to be seen. Let's just say this: as far as a athletic director doing athletic department duties, I believe Hartwell would be a good choice.
Well, a lot of the people, as successful as Auburn was in basketball, baseball,
Yeah.
gymnastics, that's what some of the
Yeah.
people are looking at. I know Frank Thomas, the former alumni of Auburn, he was disappointed but Auburn's turning a new page.
All right, Auburn.
It all comes down to the yellow man.
Yeah.
He
He'll make that call. You're right. He'll make the call. And
I'll say this: I enjoyed watching college football, and I watched like maybe one play of the Jacksonville State game against Stephen F. Austin. I don't even know the final score. They were up 42-17. They got a delay. That game
they quit. They stopped it completely.
42-17 was the final.
Yeah.
Was that in the fourth quarter?
Yeah, it was. I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that could happen at almost anywhere, because this lightning rule is prevalent. I think
I saw where Alabama State beat Howard 23-13.
Yeah, they look good. They look good too. I watched a little of that, and of course, Nebraska again. I know that guy's got to be sick.
Yeah, I can't believe they didn't fire him after the game.
Yeah.
Especially when he admitted to making that call.
Oh yeah. Of course, in high school football, we were wanting to take a look at some of the scores there, and Brantley Well,
They won 33-7 over Houston
yeah, we
Academy.
got
So
confused there.
how did the Arrington Holland home game end? Do we know any details?
Well, it was it was back and forth. Highland Home was up 20-19. Ayrton jumps to a 33-20 lead. And then late in the game, Highland Home, a little over 3 minutes left. Ayrton fumbled. Highland Home recovered. They scored. Then they kicked off. Ayrton was pinned inside the 2, had to punt. Highland Home scores the last play of the game, I believe, on a touchdown pass. They go for 2 and win the game 34-33.
And they said the 2-point conversion.
I wish that game would have been on TV. I'd love to go back and watch that.
It is. You can go to TC2 and type in TC2 Highland Home / Ayrton, and you can pull it up and watch it.
Let's say that again one more time. To watch the game.
TC2 TV, and I type in Ayrton versus Highland Home, or Highland Home versus Ayrton, and it'll pull up, and you can watch the game.
And the final score in that game was
34-33.
Whoa, what a game!
Highland Home over Zion Chapel, and now Highland Home will host Goshen this week. Goshen won big, 46-21 over Zion Chapel, so that will be a big game as Goshen travels to Highland Home. Also,
County lost on an extra point, I guess. How did they lose?
I heard they were up 13-0 at one time. They lost 20-19. No, 21-20. Excuse me, 21-20.
Yeah.
Strong won that game.
Thompson Alabaster lost again. They lost to Lipscomb out of Nashville, Tennessee. And Lipscomb's head coach is the former pro quarterback, Trent Dilfer.
That's right.
Oh, really?
Championship with Ravens.
Yeah, they're 0-2. First loss in their stadium in about 4 years, I think.
Taking a look at some of the scores, Brantley beat Houston County 33-7. Elba beat Kinston 33-6. Florella beat Red Level 34-19. Georgiana's got a good team this year. They shut out McKenzie 28-0.
Ezel Powell.
Oh, really? Is that where Ezel Powell coaches? Okay. Yeah. And I was looking for some of these other area scores.
Ozark beat Dale County 39-9.
And I knew that was a good one.
Luverne got beat by Geneva County 14-7.
Yeah, I know it. That surprised me. Some other games.
Who's Troy University's quarterback going to be? Is that official yet?
I don't think so. And I was looking for that maybe that they would.
Is our guy here with the messenger? What's he know?
I don't know. He didn't say anything about it. He promised. He told me he was gonna come be on the show, but then he tells me, he said, "Oh, I got to go at 8:30, so I'll be 7:30." So we let him go. Of course, Geneva County, like you said, beat Luverne, so Luverne's off to a slow start. Goshen looks like the real deal. 46, Zion Chapel 21. G.W. Long. Now this is a G.W. Long team that beat Slocum 22-15. And here's the big score, as we talked about it. Highland Home defeated Arrington 34-33. I wonder why that quarterback for Arrington did, the great young quarterback.
I'm sure he had a good game, but they'll play each other again.
They've got a quarterback down there that's
all right,
really
we
good.
can move this week in college football. It all starts on Thursday night. Week 0 is now officially over, so week 1, you'll have Tennessee Ball State on Thursday night. That game will be at 6 o'clock on ESPN. The game I'm definitely going to watch. West Virginia travels to Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's ranked number 17 in the country. Neil Brown, big year for him. Pittsburgh lost their starting quarterback. Kenny Pickett's now with the Steelers. And then their great wide receiver transferred to USC. But Pittsburgh's a 7.5-point favorite at home against West Virginia. Mm-hmm. So I like West Virginia to cover that 7.5.
Let me tell you this. I like the football coach at West Virginia, but he's no better coach than what we got right now. I watched all those guys play, and let me tell you, he's no better than what we got right now, and that's pretty good.
Then you got Central Michigan against Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State's ranked 12th. Also on Thursday night, you got South Carolina State against University of Central Florida. BMI against Wake Forest. Penn State against Purdue, I guess, will be the game of the day.
At Purdue. At Purdue.
And these are Thursday night games.
They'll be on Fox at 7 o'clock. And then Louisiana Tech against Missouri probably will not be a bad game. Other than that, nothing really jumps out at you on Thursday night. But, man, there's probably 20 games on Thursday night.
Yeah.
You got Virginia Tech against Old Dominion on Friday night on national TV.
Yeah, we're going to find out all about Old Dominion. And they can't help what their name is. He had hit and knocked down by Bobby Brown at the...
Bobby Brown?
Yeah, I'm just making up at the...
Well, some other Sun Belt big, games. You said Virginia Tech at Old Dominion. Army's going to be at Coastal Carolina. Georgia State will be at South Carolina. Louisiana Monroe will be at Texas. Liberty will be at Southern Miss, and Troy at Ole Miss.
Yeah.
Those are some key games for playing on the big porches across the.
Go to Mississippi legalized sportsbook. You can play Troy at plus 22.5 is the line right now.
Boy, oh boy, man, oh man. Whoa, I just can't help but like Troy there.
Mercer's at Auburn.
And
Alabama line against Utah State. I can't imagine. I got to imagine it's even going up higher than 38. Because Utah State did not look great against Connecticut. I watched some of that game. They struggled against Connecticut actually.
You think North Carolina and App State? You think App State's got a chance?
Yeah, I actually think they have a great chance.
At home.
About 28 points, I think, the Florida A&M.
Yeah, they're playing at home, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Alabama-Utah State line, this is crazy. Utah State played a game, and that line went from 37.5
to 40.
It opened at 37.5. Now it's at 41.5.
You know what? I'd almost have to take 41.5. That's a lot of points. Whoa, that's a lot of points.
You're talking about a team that's got Bonner that started 2 years at Arkansas State. Now this will be his third year starting at Utah State at quarterback. I mean, it's not like they won 12 games last year.
Bonner's the quarterback for Utah State. Bonner used to be.
Blake Anderson is head coach at Arkansas State, got the Utah State job. That's all that happened.
Yeah, okay. And Bonner's he's a 6-year player, isn't he?
Oh, yeah. He's like, feels like he's been there longer than that.
What other connection do we have with Bonner? I know Troy's played against him.
Another connection with Hatcher.
Hatcher, yeah.
Played at Alabama.
Yeah. But
another game that will be interesting is Mississippi State lost the game at Memphis last year. They'll be hosting them in Starkville. So that game will be interesting to watch, see how Leach Mississippi State look this year.
What about Cincinnati at Arkansas?
I can't really figure out anything about Auburn until game 3, I guess. Because you play Mercer and then you play San Jose State. I mean, those are all going to be blowouts.
Yeah. Well, that's going to be very interesting. But just like you said, Mike, at the top of the show, you really do not think Auburn has got the quarterback to win with. Is that right?
Well, man, I'm just like you. I mean, I feel like Bo Nix is better than every single one of those guys.
Yeah.
I felt like Calzada, the kid from A&M, hurt the spring, didn't participate, and apparently he just never came back from his injury very well. I mean, the guy that almost won the job was the kid that transferred in from Oregon, Robbie Ashford.
And he was a starter at Oregon.
No, he wasn't a starter at Oregon.
He wasn't a starter. I thought he was.
He was actually third string at Oregon.
Yeah.
But, he was the MVP of the spring game. And apparently he's number 2.
Yeah.
Calzada's number 3. And how about the Johnson kid, Brad Johnson kid, that was starting quarterback at LSU last year? He transfers to A&M. He loses the job at A&M, the Haynes team.
Yeah.
So,
I Listen, you heard me say it from right here, Mike, that I didn't think that the Johnson kid was very good. He did. He just didn't look like he could win in the SEC.
Well, I talked to a lot of Florida State fans that live down here, guys I go to church with, and some other guys that live around Grace. They're all going to New Orleans for that LSU Florida State game on Sunday night. That'll be fun to watch.
It will be.
Well, and you heard our coach say that he took some players down there to see Florida State play.
Yeah. Zion Grady was invited to Florida State, and he took his linebacker, Damian Hart, Coach Quinn Hambright. So, you know, just the sophomores get.
All right, you call him Zion
Grady.
And,
Zion.
And how big a kid is he?
He's 6'4", 240, I believe is what he was saying.
And he plays defensive end?
As a sophomore. That's crazy.
Sophomore, yeah.
Oh, boy.
Just think if you had Quay Russell on the other side.
Yeah. Yeah, I know it. Exactly right.
Both of them.
Let me tell you this.
There's some talented kids living in Troy, Alabama right now.
I'll tell you right now, Charles Simpson High School's got a good football team.
It's the recruitment that's going on within the walls at Charles Simpson.
Yeah.
And the hands-on, eyeballing, mentoring, and they're there, and they are in full swing. And a lot of these studs are juniors, but they'll go a long, long way this year.
Yeah.
In the playoffs.
Yeah, I've been impressed with Coach Hambright. You know, he came on the show last year, and I mean, he's been on the show probably 20 times. But
well, when
he really seems like he knows how to build a program.
He really does. He really does. He has confidence built all over him, and I can see him getting in a kid's lap and making him play hard. You know, that's key.
Well, the magic from Mike DeBose and Mike Turk.
Yeah.
He played for both of them.
Yeah.
And when you've been exposed to those type of people, you're going to have your I's dotted and your T's crossed with an exclamation point at the end of the sentence.
Mike, I've got something to say to you. I would jump all over Utah in 41 points. Utah State will score enough to keep that within the number. And then also you got Utah playing at Florida, and Utah's got the best team they've ever had. They claim that this is the best Utah team ever. And what is that line, Mike? Utah and Florida.
I'll find it.
Go get us.
These are some big games.
Notre Dame at Ohio State.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's an interesting game. I mean, don't sleep on South Carolina or Georgia State.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Exactly. It's several good games.
Got a lot of athletes. Georgia State went into Tennessee a couple years ago. It doesn't matter.
And I'm gonna tell you something else too. Cincinnati's gonna beat Arkansas. Cincinnati's gonna beat Arkansas. What's that line?
I tell you what, Coach Carolina Army line is really interesting in Vegas. That line's gone from 5, Coach Carolina 5 at home, now all the way down to 2.5. So everybody's jumping on Army. Utah right now, the line started at +1.5. Now Utah, everybody's jumping on. They're now the favorite, 2.5 at Florida.
And they're playing at Florida, 2.5.
What time of day is that? At night?
It's 6 o'clock on the ESPN.
All right now, all right now. Correct me now. Where does Cincinnati? There's some real good games this weekend. Cincinnati and Arkansas, and of course Arkansas. If you can stop their quarterback, you can beat Arkansas. Let me just say this: I think Cincinnati will win that game.
Arkansas is a 5.5-point favorite against Cincinnati at home.
All right, I know it.
2:30 on ESPN. Cincinnati, the line in Vegas is going down too. That game started at 7.5. It's now down to 5.5. So everybody's jumping on Cincinnati.
That's right. Yeah. And Oregon and Georgia.
Only game Vegas really got wrong was Nebraska. I think that went up to 12.5 at kick against Northwestern.
Yeah. And, Northwestern finds a way. Golly, their coach he's a hard-nosed coach.
Pat Fitzgerald's a really good coach.
Yeah. All right, but I'll say this. Oregon and Georgia. Let me say this.
Yeah.
Hey, darling, how you?
She wants some water. Y'all talk. I'll get her.
Yeah, go get her some water. Okay. Georgia and Oregon. Who do you like, Brandon?
Georgia. I think Georgia's going to
All
win.
right. Forrest Lee says Georgia. We're going to find out if this Georgia team has lost too many players or not.
On defense, yeah.
But I like Georgia over Oregon. I'll take Georgia over Oregon. North Carolina and App State. What is that line, Mike?
He might have had to go.
Yeah,
with
that's right. Yeah.
I think it was like a 2, wasn't it?
Really, it's gone to 2. Now I know they're playing at Appalachian State, and that is it's going to be a great game. You know what? App State might win that game. I say App State's going to win that game, but I can't believe it's just 2 points.
Nebraska plays.
State beat North Carolina a couple years
ago. Nebraska plays North Dakota, and then next week they play Georgia Southern. Nebraska.
All right, yeah.
And then they get Oklahoma.
We're basically just trying to figure out which game he's going to lose.
Yeah.
And Oklahoma's coming up.
Auburn High School.
How about that? North Carolina, something, at 48 jobs. Just playing that game.
We can't hear you, Mike.
You cutting out on us, Michael. You cutting out.
North Carolina.
There you go.
North Carolina is now the underdog against App State.
Are you serious? Are you serious?
So are things coming unraveled in Chapel Hill?
Well, what they saw Florida A&M.
App State was a 3.5 point underdog, but after that performance against Florida A&M, App State's now 1.5.
Mike, did you see that quarterback from Florida A&M play? He looked good. Their quarterback.
I only watched like a little bit.
Well, they scored a bunch of points. And the Penn State Purdue game played at Purdue on a Thursday night. Purdue might have the makings of an upset here, Mike.
He looked pretty good with Illinois, and they're playing at Indiana. Indiana's a favorite at home against Illinois, but Illinois already played a game.
And Billmer is a hard-nosed football coach, and I went down and what's that line there?
Illinois is actually the underdog, -2.5.
Golly, I like Illinois.
Indiana's a slight favorite at home.
That game's played on Friday night. Penn State, of course, Purdue, they'll have a big gathering. It'll be a hard place to win at Thursday night.
I know you'll be pulling for Buddy Bryant. His coaching debut at UAB. They'll be hosting Alabama A&M.
Yeah, and I do wish him a lot of luck.
I bet that'll be a packed stadium.
Yeah.
That's not far of a trip, Huntsville to
Mike, who's got the best high school football team in the state of Alabama? I want y'all to hear this, ladies and gentlemen. Who?
I say Clay Chalk. Clay
Chalk. Well, who do you think, Mike?
Well, I'll probably still say Thompson. Thompson's got beaten by two teams from out of state.
All right, I'll say this. Hey, they're better than Mercer. Thompson High School is better than Mercer.
They better.
And Auburn is playing Mercer. Mercer.
Mercer's one. I think they're playing the Southern Conference. That's not a bad.
Yeah, but listen, the best team in Alabama could beat Mercer, I think.
The Bears.
And Auburn's playing them.
I would say Thompson's one to probably play with Mercer, but I don't know if they would have the depth to beat a 1AA.
I'm just saying Mercer's that bad.
Could Thompson be a Division II school? I'd say yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
What about, it's away from college, but, Brian Robinson Jr., who plays for the Washington Commanders.
I saw that. That's horrible.
Yeah, he was being carjacked in the District of Columbia, two juveniles. They were trying to take his Dodge Charger SRT Hellcat, but he's in stable condition at an area hospital. And also in Barcelona, one of the leading players for Barcelona, Abraham, he and his wife were bound and tied up, and they've robbed him at his home. So look out all over the place.
Mike,
But anyway, we'll get back to
and the big one everybody wants to hear.
Brian Robinson died was Alabama's great running back.
Oh yeah, no question about it.
He was
having a good preseason with the Washington Commanders. I mean, can you imagine that? You get carjacked, get shot twice, and he's gonna be okay. Thank God.
Yeah.
I like Mississippi State, Mike. What is that line against Memphis?
It's high, 16.
Oh gosh, now I don't know about that. I don't know if I'd take them in that many points. Troy and Ole Miss, Mike.
I think the game of the day. I like. I mean, the more I look at it, I like Appalachian State. I really do. I think Appalachian State will beat North Carolina.
Well, I'm going to tell you this right now, ladies and gentlemen, and just go ahead and go to the bank if you want to go to the bank. Take Troy and 22.5 over Ole Miss. Troy's got.
Do yourself a favor and value a point and a half. Give that 24.
Yeah. Well, if you get them at 23, wouldn't you? About a half a point.
You can buy a point and a half and get them to 24. It's 22.5 right now.
Yeah. Well, that.
I mean, I think a score will be somewhere around 31 to 13 range. Is what I'm thinking.
Yeah. Well, I think.
I like Troy to cover the point.
But we still do not know who I feel sure it'll be Gunnar Watson. Gunnar Watson be the first quarterback, and they'll either go with the kid, the transfer from. Let's see. Well, are the transfer from Utah? Yeah, those two about even, I would say.
I'd be shocked if they made the decision to come last minute and he's not going to play against Ole Miss in at least a couple series. I mean, there's no reason they would have brought him in if they didn't think he could win the job.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well,
I mean, look at his numbers. Though his numbers are just hard to pass up. You know, the guy threw for 10,000 yards and 79 touchdowns in Division I football.
Yeah. But evidently, they know something we don't know because,
I'll tell you what, Western Kentucky did not look great against, Austin Peay. I wonder if they wish they would have kept him.
Yeah, yeah. But
I mean, all I know is Troy defensively, I think will play well. Offense is the big question.
And the secondary is a little bit concerning me, But now Liberty against Southern Mississippi, Mike. What is that line? I sort of like Southern Mississippi.
I think Liberty's like only a 2-point favorite out there.
I sort of like Southern Mississippi at home against Liberty. And how about Notre?
Sports, what happened in that Pike Liberal Arts game? Were you there the whole time?
I did. Pike Liberal scored first, 3-0, and then Bayside scored, and Pike Liberal threw a long pass to go up 10-3, and no, it was 8. Anyway, it was 15-10 at the half. And 2 long passes, set up Pike Liberal Arts scores plus a field goal. And then the third quarter, they just were worn down because Bayside was playing about 20 or 22
they
players.
Ran that wing tee, didn't they?
They did that, and then Pike Liberal just did not have the depth. And the final score was 33-15.
But they played them well, and let me tell you about our late great friend here, Troy Cable. Is his grandson was a quarterback, only a 10th grader, and buddy, he looked good. He threw for over 200 yards, and he's only a sophomore.
Yeah, Bradford, Dawson Bradford,
and his favorite receiver was his brother,
KC.
KC, he caught over 100 yards worth of passes.
Right, and Levi DeBoer, who did not play last year, he plays on the baseball team, and he's probably the fastest kid on the team. He caught a long touchdown pass.
Well, great. I'm glad to hear that.
And but Pike Liberal Arts was up 15-7, and then Bayside came and kicked a field goal to make it 15-10 before the half.
Yeah.
Then Bayside came out and scored 2 touchdowns in the third quarter.
Well, let me tell you this.
The depth got 'em.
Coach Baxley is an excellent defensive coach, and I'll say that again. Coach Baxley is an outstanding high school defensive coordinator, and he's the head coach.
We got the Molly Sanders show about to start.
Mike, real quick here, looking at Florida State and LSU on Sunday. This would be a huge win for Florida State if they could go in there and beat LSU, but I don't know if they can. What do you think?
Yeah, I thought all my Florida State, supporters, even guys going to the game, they said Florida State's not there yet.
Yeah. Then of course Notre Dame at Ohio State, and that's going to be quite a game.
Yeah, should be interesting.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, we got to get out of here, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, our show is brought to you by Premier Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, and Ram trucks on the bypass. They've got a tremendous selection of new and used cars and trucks at Premier Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, and Ram trucks. And, of course, nobody beats a Premier deal. Nobody. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. Thank you.
At the Piggly Wiggly, we proudly support our local farmers and bring you the best they have to offer, all at cost.